Hello and very good evening everyone. I hope that everyone is ready for their presentation. So we'll now start with today's presentation. So let me first mute all of you and then I will call your name one by one. So first name that I can see is Singh.
I'm audible?
Yes, you are audible. Yes, you are also visible. Saurabh, did you receive email for your presentation?
I received it yesterday.
Okay. Wait, let me just cross check because yesterday I believe you said you had, but I couldn't see your name in the list.
So I did receive the mail.
Okay, so it is for 22.
Okay, but I received that on 21st.
But the date is 22, right?
Let me check, sir. Just let me check.
Because yesterday you said that you wanted to give a presentation yesterday. Okay, but in my list it was different date.
Okay.
So what is the date? Can you confirm?
It's actually given 23rd March.
Okay, so 23rd March.
Yeah.
So your.
But I did clicked on schedule presentation on I guess Monday. Monday. That's why I came on Tuesday to give my presentation.
Okay. So what is the name of your presentation?
So it's data types, variables, and operators in JavaScript.
Data type variable, but I don't see that. So I believe that is for 23rd, right?
Yeah, it's given in 23rd in the mail.
Okay, so you have to come tomorrow on 23rd for your presentation.
Can't give it today.
Yes, no, you can't give it today. It has to be on the date because see, in my list, I should get a button to click that yes presentation was done. I don't have that date. I only have for 22. Okay, so if you give your presentation, that is completely fine. I don't mind actually, but it will not be marked as completed because I don't have your name in the list. Okay, so what's the point of giving your presentation, right? If you want, I can share the screen and show you the list.
No, it's okay, sir. I believe you.
See, that is the thing. Like, see, the thing is we can take presentations. Okay, when people say, but sir said that you should only take it on that day because I will get a list where I can mark it as present. Okay. So the sir will also know, and once he know, then only he can show the check the presentation and send you the score, or you will not get your scoring. Okay, so come tomorrow, we will have a presentation. If you want, you can send your presentation for the review on the this chat or on WhatsApp. I will tell you if there is some improvement need to be. Because now the thing is, it is like really strict for the marking. This is for all of you who will be giving the presentation today. See, the thing is we follow a pattern when we are marking a presentation. See, okay, so there should be an introduction slide first of all, like your introduction. So there should be your name, you are from which batch, and you are from which group. That has to be there. That is the introduction slide. After that, there should be an introduction slide for your task. So whatever the task is there, it should be properly introduced. At least there should be one dedicated slide for that. After that, there will be whatever PPT that you have created. And after that, there are some compulsory things that, such as there should be a conclusion slide, there should be a reference slide, and there has to be wait, let me just say, yeah, ending slide. Okay, so what it means is, suppose your presentation is done now, so there has to be a conclusion slide which will have a recap of all the things that you have discussed, and after that there has to be an ending like a reference slide. In that reference slide, so suppose your task included some kind of coding. Okay, so you have to provide a GitHub link to all the viewers of this presentation, so that they can go to that link and they can access your code. Okay, this has to be in the reference link, and there has to be some kind of contact. It is preferably an email, so that people can contact you if they want to get in touch with you. And there has to be a demo output, a demo slide, dedicated slide for the demo, or a dedicated slide for the output of your demo. So this slide has to be there. So all of you who will be giving the presentation today, you don't have time to change the slide, but make sure during while you are giving the presentation, you are going through this point, so that you can get the maximum marks. Okay. So now I will start with the presentation, and after that, we will go for the general discussion. So first name I can see is Dhruti Patel.
Yes, sir.
Wait, just check it. Dhruti Patel. So is it what is the task name?
Predictive modeling.
Okay. So, okay, I have your name in the list. Yeah, please start.
Am I audible, sir?
Yes, you are audible. Please start. Share your screen and start.
Is it visible, sir?
No, it is not visible.
Is it visible, sir?
Yeah, now it is visible.
Okay. Good evening, sir. I'm Dhruti Patel. My task name is the predictive modeling, and the purpose of this task is to understand and know more about predictive modeling. Here is the outline of my presentation. Introduction, dataset detail, workflow, implementation, and conclusion. So introduction. So what is a predictive modeling? A predictive modeling is a form of data mining that analyze the historical data and identify a patterns or trends, and using this predict a future outcome. In this task, I have performed various machine learning algorithm on a student performance dataset. I have performed 3 algorithms. Decision tree, logistic regression, and random forest, which are a supervised machine learning algorithm. And in last, I have predicted student math score using another features. Dataset details. Student performance dataset have 1,000 row and 8 columns. It includes 8 features like gender, race or ethnicity, pattern level of education, lunch, test preparation course, math score, reading score, and writing score. So math score, reading score, and writing score have a numerical value, and other features have a categorical value like yes, no type value. Here is the workflow of my project. So first step is to import library, and then loading a dataset, and then apply a data pre-processing technique on dataset, and then split dataset into train and testing part, and then apply machine learning algorithm, and then find the accuracy of this algorithm. Implementation. The first step is the import the libraries like pandas, numpy, matplotlib, linear regression, etc., which are useful. And then load and display dataset. So here the pd.read CSV function is used for loading and displaying dataset. So our dataset is displayed in this slide. Here the 8 features: gender, race, and ethnicity, pattern level of education, lunch, test preparation course, math course. So math score is our target variable, and other features are our predictor variable. And then the next step is the data pre-processing technique. So data pre-processing is the process of preparing a raw data set and making it suitable for machine learning model. So I have applied two data pre-processing techniques. The first one is finding a missing value, and second one is the converting a categorical data. Because a data set in data set there are some value which are missing. So here the df dot is null dot sum function is used for finding a missing value, and the df dot fill na function is used to replace a missing value. So here is the output. Our features, here is the output. So our features have a zero missing value. And then converting a categorical data into numerical data. Because the machine learning model require data input and output data in a numerical form. So we have to convert a categorical data into numerical data. So here le.fit underscore transform function convert a categorical data into numerical data. It will automatically assign 0, 1, 2, 3 numerical value according to category. For example, gender have two types of category. First is female and second one is male. So it will automatically assign 0 to female and 1 to male. And then the next step is to splitting a data set, means divide a data set into two or more parts. Here I have divided the data set into two parts, training and testing part. uh, uh, Here y is our target variable, and x is our feature variable. So our target variable is max score, and another features like gender, race or ethnicity, pattern level of education, extra are our feature variable which are used to predict our target variable. And here the test size is 0.8, means it divide data set into 80 and 20%. So 80% for training part and 20% for testing part. Feature selection. Feature selection is the method of reducing input variable to your model by using only relevant feature. Because sometimes our data set have more features. Some features are more useful for finding a target variable, but some features are not useful. So feature selection technique is required. I have used two feature selection technique, chi-square test and correlation metric for finding features. Chi-square test, in chi-square test, it calculates the chi-square score between a feature and target variable. Feature have a high chi-square score are more relevant in finding a target variable. And correlation metric, the second one is a correlation metric. It is displayed in a table form. And it and correlation metric find a correlation between a feature and target variable. Here is the code of a chi-square test. So the output of the chi-square test is displayed in a graph form. So reading score, and pattern level of education have high correlation with our target variable max score. So it is a more important feature. And then here a correlation matrix is displayed. It is in table form. So the red color indicate that a feature is more correlated with target variable, and blue color indicate that feature is not more correlated with our target variable. And then the next step is apply uh, algorithm on data set. So first one is a logistic regression. It is a supervised machine learning algorithm. It is a statistical method, and it analyze the relationship between a dependent and one or more independent variable. It is commonly used for a classification problem and a predict a target variable based on a feature variable. Here is the code of a logistic regression model. And the output of logistic regression, and the output is in form accuracy, precision, recall, and F1 score. So accuracy is a ratio of a number of correctly predict outcome and total number of outcome. Precision is a ratio of true positive and true positive plus false positive. True positive means in actual outcome is positive and it is predicted positive. And false positive means in actual our outcome is positive, our outcome is negative, but it predicted positive, so it is called a false positive. And then recall is the ratio of true positive and true positive plus false negative. False negative means in actual our outcome is a positive, but it predicted negative, so it is called false negative. The F1 score is the ratio of 2 into precision into recall and precision plus recall. So the value of accuracy, precision, recall, and F1 score is given. So our model's accuracy is at 23%. Uh, uh, and then the second algorithm is decision tree. Decision tree is also supervised machine learning technique. It is a tree-like structure where root node represent our data set, and internal node represent a feature variable, and leaf node represent outcome. Here the one is our root node, 2 and 3 are internal node, and 4 and 5 are leaf node. And this structure represent a decision and possible outcome based on a rule that are learned from our data set. Here is the code of decision tree model, and the result of decision tree is given: accuracy, precision, recall, and F1 score. Accuracy is 36%, and the random forest. The third one is a random forest. It is also a supervised machine learning algorithm. It is an ensemble method that combine a multiple decision tree and then in last make a prediction. And so in a random forest algorithm, it first divide data set into number of parts, and that data is given to one or more decision tree model, a decision tree classifier, and the output of decision tree is combined, and using a voting method final outcome is predicted. It's a code of random forest, and accuracy of random forest is 65, precision value, recall, and F1 score value. Uh, and in last conclusion is that random forest have high accuracy in compared to other two algorithms. So random forest is more preferable for this data set. Thank you, sir.
Is there any working demo?
Yes.
Please run it.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, show the working demo also.
Yeah.
Go through a simple explanation on the code, and then you can grab it.
Wait, sir.
While it is loading, you can go through the code.
Sorry, sir.
While it is loading, you can go through the code.
Actually, sir, I will done in Google Colab, sir. So this is typo.
Adnan? Yeah, hello. Are you done?
Hello.
Are you done with your presentation?
Okay, sir.
Go to the very top. Go to the first row. In the Google Colab, share the screen and go to the very first.
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me properly?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, show the screen and go to the very top in the Google Colab. Your code.
Sir, it is visible.
Yeah, it is visible. Go to the very top. On the very top, not the bottom. The first line of code.
Yes, sir.
See, the thing is, your entire presentation was really good. Okay, I would say it was really well made. The thing is, your explanation, the way you explained it, the way your presentation was made, it was really good. You had like block wise explanation in your presentation, which made it really easy for your viewers to understand what is going on. Okay, it was not overwhelming like this code is. See, the code is really big. Okay, it is like it is taking too lot of space. If you could have explained it line by line, it would have been really bad for the presentation, but you didn't do that. So I liked it, really liked it. Okay, but the one thing is that you didn't had a proper demo. Okay, see, when you are doing a code level explanation in your presentation, so you always have to show the demo. Okay, because so that we can also confirm that your task was done by you only. You didn't like copy screenshots from somewhere. Okay, and when you are giving up demo, you had to go through all the codes, block
Yes, sir.
level code, with respect to what is in the presentation itself. Okay, and when you have really big presentation, see,
Yes.
so you should have add a big flowchart which will go through your entire project. Okay, and then go to the usual code code block level explanation. It would be good, but if flowchart was not there, but that is not necessary, but it will be really good for the conclusion, so that we can just have a small recap of what we went through. Okay, it will be really
Yes.
easy for you to explain also. But whatever was that, I will say it was really good. Okay, this is one of the best explanation I had for the data. I believe you are from data science group. Are you from which group?
No, machine learning, sir.
Yeah, so this was like one of the best explanation I had worked for the machine learning. You explained the data properly, you explained everything. Okay, but in the demo, we saw some of the graphs. Okay, so when
Okay.
you are giving a demo, don't just run the software code. Okay, so when I said
Okay.
that when you are running a code and go through it, that means see, and when you are running a code, don't explain line by line. So suppose
Okay.
we have see this import library code block. Okay, so when it
Yes.
appeared on the screen, don't just stand there or sit there silent. Okay, try to explain
Okay.
what is going on. Okay,
Okay.
so for the import library, you could have said that in the first block, I'm importing the library, and these are some of the important libraries like train test bit and mean squared. They are the important libraries that we have to see. Okay, so just name few libraries, don't name entire library, and then go to the next
Okay.
block of code, explain what is going on, that you are loading the data. So where is the CSV file in? It is in the sidebar. Show it and go through what is the data itself. There is gender, race, ethnicity, what it was, and then go to why you did something. So, can you scroll down? Just scroll down. Yeah. See, you have performed. See, df dot is null. Okay.
Huh.
Just scroll up. Scroll up. Scroll up. Not down. Okay, that is fine. See this plot you have. So
Okay.
it says p value plot dot one. Okay. You need to explain all your charts properly. When you are
Okay.
giving a demo, when you are giving a presentation, this chart is your main output. Okay. You have to explain how you got this output and what does this output mean. Okay, because as a viewer, I don't care what your code is. You had lot of like underscore values, dot short values, and everything. People who are not from the machine learning and Python group, they will not understand what it is. Okay, but there is something that everyone will understand. That is the chart, because we have all studied the chart in 9th and 10th standard. So it is your job to explain the charts properly. What is going on? Like what chart is like giving you. What is the main output and how you got to that output. You had somewhere like DFA is null, which is like all the null properties in the data frame, right? So you have to explain why you are using these things. Okay, don't explain what it is. You don't explain the function. What is null does. Explain why it is there. Okay,
Okay.
this is the way you do the machine learning presentation, because what we care is what your data is in that block of code, what is going on with the data and what you are expecting it to do. And at the end of the day, when you have some kind of chart, when you have some kind of table, you have to explain it like what the uh, output is, how it is affecting it, why does it matter to us. Okay, that is the way you do it. But I would say from the presentation point of view, if we just ignore the demo, from the presentation point of view, it was one of the best presentation I have seen. Okay, so work on the demo part. Try to give, try to see like go on YouTube and see how people do the demos on their working codes. It will be really useful because you only need to work on this part. Other than that, it is completely good. You are really good in the presentation point of view. Okay, so try to work on this demo part. Other than that, it was good. Okay, you will get your marks after this meeting.
Thank you, sir.
So thank you for your presentation. Now I'll move on to next person. That is Pradeep Vishwakarma. Yeah, Pradeep, please share the screen.
Sir, is my screen is visible?
Yeah, it is visible. You can start.
Okay. So good evening, everyone. My name is Pradeep Vishwakarma and I am from Java Developer Group. So my task is to develop a RESTful web service using the Spring Boot. So here are the key points of my presentation. So first we talk about the introduction. After that we will talk about the why we choose Spring Boot, then how it will work, and then after talk about the implementation, and then we are talking about the conclusion. So first in introduction. So Spring Boot is open source and it is a Java-based framework and used to create our microservices. So whenever we need to create a microservice, we use Spring Boot. So Spring Boot is developed by a Pivotal team and it is used to develop a standalone application and production ready Spring Boot application in efficient time. Okay. So why we should choose Spring Boot? So it is easy to understand because Node.js is complex as compared to Spring Boot. So we should use Spring Boot. So easy to understand and develop Spring applications, and it will increase the productivity when you are working with Spring Boot. So it will automatically increase your productivity, and it will reduce the development time. So how to work? So the Spring Boot is automatically configure your application based on your dependency. Yeah. So whenever you are updating your project, so it will see form.xml and update all your dependency as per your requirement. And then we will come the at the Spring Boot application annotation. So Spring Boot application contain 3 annotation. The first one is a configuration class, and the second one is bean, and the third one is auto configuration class. So it is used to mark a configuration class. Then we will go for REST controller. So REST controller is just like a presentation layer of our application. So first execution will start that class. So it will use to mark a class as request handler. So it will handle the request whenever user pushes like get, put, and post. So get mapping. So get mapping is used to add a get method in your method. Then get mapping product id. So it will mark your method as get, and using this method we can search a product with a specific product id. Then post mapping. So post mapping is used to add some product in our project. So then we go for post mapping. Put mapping is used to update the data of our project. So here I am passing the product id to update my data. So delete mapping is simply used for delete the data from our project. So this is my postman, screenshot of my postman. So here I am using the get method, and my server is running on port number 9099. So this is my get mapping of products, and here you can see it's my list of the products. Okay, then go for get method and passing the ID of that specific product. Like I am passing one ID, then it will show ID1 with product. Then post method is my post method. So post method we are adding a new product. Like here I am adding body, raw, and JSON. The data in JSON format, and the ID of that product is 3. Title is iPhone, and description is 14 Pro, and there is a price. So it will, or whenever it done, so it will show the output in the body part. Then it is my put method. So here I am passing one. That is my ID of the product. Then here I am passing the format of my data. That is JSON format. So it will go for ID1. Where is ID1? Then it will update that product. So here you can see my delete API. So when for delete, we don't need to pass any kind of data. We just need to pass ID with parameter. Then we need to send. So it will show deleted whenever it done. So here is my running application console. So there is my architecture of directory structure. So in SRC main, I have a file that is Spring application.java, where my execution of project is started. Then it will find the my controller, and there is my entities. And then here is my pom.xml, where our dependency is coded. So first I will talk about the pom.xml. So here's my pom.xml. The name of my project is Spring REST, and there is a group ID and artifact ID of my project. There is a dependency of my project that is I'm using. It is starter web. Then it is the plugin which I am using to develop Spring Boot application. Then here is my code implementation for the Spring REST application.java, where execution got started. So here is my Spring Boot application annotation, which is come from the org.springframework.boot.spring application. So here is my main method where the execution got started. So Spring REST application will scan the whole package. So when the Spring REST application is scanning the package, so my controller will run, because the REST controller I am defining here. So whenever REST controller find, then this class is marked as the request handler class. Then I am using AutoBear to create the object of uh, product services class. Then here is my get mapping. So it is home. So whenever we go for home, so that method will return the HTML content, which is welcome to product API. So next we will go for get mapping product. So it will return the list of my products. Here you can see it will go for product service class and find all the products. Then get mapping with specific ID. So here I am using the condition to find the specific ID. Here I am passing the product ID as parameter. So here I am using at that path variable, that is a string. Then it is a product ID. Then we get a string. Then we need to convert it in a long, because I specify that method as long. So I am using long.parseLong for converting it in a long. Then I will return the get product. So here is my post mapping. Here just we need to pass request body, and we need to call a add product method, which is present in product services class. After that, I will show about the put mapping. So put mapping, we need to pass product ID with parameter, and it will return update product, which is updated. Which product is updated, it will return the description of it, which method is present in product services class. Then here's my delete mapping. We just need to pass parameters, and then this method will call, it will take a string as path variable, then it will convert it into long, then find the product and delete the product. So here's my product.java. So product.java is basically an entity where I am defining the which kind of product I am adding. Like I am adding in that product mobile. So in mobile we have a ID which is private and a title with a string class, and we have description and we have the price of in type. Here is my constructor for that class for initializing the data members. So here is my getter and setter method. So whenever user need to get ID, so he will simply call, he or she will simply call the get ID method. So he will get ID and set ID. Here is all my getter and setter method for all data types. So here is my toString method to convert it whenever the data type whenever the data is come, it will convert into objects form. So here's my product service.java. So here I'm using a concept of list to add product in the project. So here is my, this is my interface. So it will define the empty bodies of my project. So here's my implementation class where I am implementing the product services method. So here is my method, like first one is a list product type list, that name is get products. Then get product, the type of product which is required long dot course id, sorry, course id, which is long type. So the next one is add product, which required course of product type. So the next one is update product, which required there is some, yeah, it will require product ID. Basically, I was written is course ID, but it will require product ID is long type, and product with product type, and the delete will require a long with a product ID. So here's my implementation of that class. So my class name is public service.java. Here I am using a list, which is type of product, and for product I am importing that this is my class form.spring.entities.product. Here's my constructor of product service IMPL. So here I am declaring a object of the, initializing the object of the list and adding some product to check my project. Then here is my method, which name is get products. Using this method, it will return the list of all elements. So the next is the get product. So it will take course ID as a parameter and return the product with a specific product ID. Then add product. So add product is simply adding the product by using product, and then it will use the add method of that class and add that product and return that product. So here is my update product. It will require a course ID and, sorry, product ID and the product, which is comes from the request body. And using a loop, I am iterating. I am checking the get ID is present is or not. If get ID is, if ID is not present in my project, so I will return null. If ID is present, so I will update that product. So here's my delete product with the product. Whenever we need to delete the product, we just not, need to pass the product ID in parameters. Then it will iterate the loop whenever size is done. So whenever it will find, so it will match course ID is get ID is equal. If again that is equal, then it will remove that product and return the string which is deleted. If record is not found, so it will return the not found. So conclusion. So we are using Spring Boot application to avoid complex XML configuration in Spring. We just need to pass our XML in form.xml. So the second one is to develop product ready applications in easier way, and to reduce the development time and run the application independently, we using Spring Boot. So and Spring Boot is offer easier way to getting started with the application, and it is very efficient environment to develop APIs. So, sir, shall I start my working of the project?
Yeah, sure. Ravi.
Okay. Yeah, first we will update the project. So it will install the dependency from the pom.xml file. Then we need to go for run as. Then we will run this application like Spring Boot app. My Spring Boot app is got started. So here is my port. So first we will test is this project is running or not. So then we need to go for a browser. Then we need to type localhost. Then that port. So here's my byte error. That means my project is running fine. Then we go for HTML content, that is products. Here you can see my application is under execution. So then after that we need to go for Postman and test all the APIs which we are defining in that project. So then we go for Postman. Yeah. So I'm using the get method, then passing that URL. Products. So products method will return the list of all products which is having in my project. So it will return the product with ID1 and ID2. So the name of that product is the title of that product is Samsung. Then the next one is a Realme. Then we will find that product. Like we just need to find that product only. We just need to find all the products. So we just need to pass with ID in parameter. Then we need to send. So here's my uh, get mapping with a product ID. Then we are looking for the post method. So whenever we need to the product, update the product, so we just go for post. Then we doesn't need to pass the course ID. We just need to pass the body of that product. We will select row and go for JSON. And I am adding the product 3 with ID 3. And the product name is like Oppo. And the product is W11. And the price of product is 21,000. We just need to send the product. So if product is added, so it will return that product. And then we will test product is added or not. So we will pass get method, then check the product is added or not. Yeah, product is added. Then we will test the put API. So input API, we need to pass the product ID. Like I am passing the product ID 1. So I will update that product. So and change with the name Samsung from the Realme. So 1, then Realme, then product M11 and price of that product 15,000. We just need to send that request. Yeah, my product is got updated. So we will check. Not. Yeah, it is updated. Here you can see the title is changed with Realme. Now we will test the delete API. So in delete API, we just need to pass the ID of that product which we need to delete. So we will pass the ID 1. And we don't need to send the data of body of the data. whenever the product is deleted, so here you can see the product is deleted. We will check from the get method, it will be deleted or not. Yeah, it is deleted, can't find. So we will check from the all product list. Yeah, there is no products with ID 1. So thank you, sir. It is done.
So I hope you are done with that.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so overall, I would say your presentation was good. Okay, the explanation, the way you have explained it was good. At the start, it was going well, but at the end, you had too much code. It was, I would say, as a viewer, that it would be really overwhelming for someone from like non-coding background to look at it. Okay, so always, as I said, try to have a code block thing. Okay, so
Yes.
don't just show complete code. Okay, try to explain like what is going on in that block of code and how it will affect your entire project. That is a flow chart format. Okay, when you have really large project, that is the format that we follow. And as for like the block of code, that thing you can explain, always explain those in the demo itself. Just select and say that this was the block of code that is doing this with respect to your presentation. Okay. So overall, I would say your presentation was good for someone who is like willing to start with the Spring Boot. It would be really informative for them who is like trying to get started with the Spring Boot. If they see your presentation, it will make it really easy for them to get started with it. Okay, so I would say your overall presentation was really informative with respect to Spring Boot. Okay, so I would say yeah, overall evaluation I would give it to you. Okay. You will receive your mark after the. And always when you are giving the demo, always preload it. Don't open the demo and because we don't have time to wait and see what is going on. Always have your demo preloaded and then do it. Okay, because it becomes boring to just look at the screen coding. Okay. So you can stop your presentation. So now move on to next person. And thank you for the presentation, Pradeep. So Sajal Gupta. And all of you who are having the presentation after this, load your demo before it. So, Sajal, please. Hello, Sajal. No, you are not audible. I can see your camera, but I can't hear your voice.
Hello, sir.
And now you're audible.
Okay, sir. Let me remove my earpiece. Yeah. Let me share my screen.
Yeah, please share and start.
Share. So is it visible now?
Yeah, it is visible question.
Good evening, sir. I am Sajal Gupta. I am from Java Developer Group, and today I will be today I will be presenting about the topic RESTful web service using Spring Boot. Okay, let's talk. Talking about the content we will cover today are like what is REST. We will get to know about what is RESTful web service, what is REST API, how does a REST API works, and what is the Spring Boot application architecture. Then we will go for the live demonstration of the app which I made during this project. And finally, we will conclude the presentation and we'll see the observations which we have seen during the live demonstration. Okay, now let's talk about what is RESTful web service. Uh, Basically, RESTful web service is a stateless client server architecture. Like stateless client server architecture is responsible for of the client to pass its context to the server, and then server can store this context to the process to process the client's further request. Like web services like are the resources and can be identified their URIs. REST client application uses HTTP GET POST POST PUT methods to invoke RESTful web services. Like RESTful web services are being used by Facebook, Twitter, Google, YouTube, and major of the websites which we use in day-to-day life. Now, what is REST API? Basically, an API is a set of rules that are defined that defines how application or device can connect and communicate with each other. And talking about the specific REST API follows the designs and principle of REST, which is representational state transfer architecture style. There are some design principles of REST, which are like a client server model, stateless model, which I've defined in my previous slides. Now, like how does a REST API work? REST API communicates via HTTP requests to perform CURD operations, which are create, read, update, and delete operations within a source. Like a well-designed API is similar to a website running in a web browser with a inbuilt HTTP functionality. For example, so like a REST API we can use GET requests to retrieve all the records, post to create a record in the existing database, put to update any record, and to delete a record from the database. We can use a delete request. Now, coming to Spring Boot's application architecture. Basically, now, for example, let's take an example of we are sending a request from a client that is from Postman. Then there will be a controller, service, and a DAO and a DB in the whole process. For example, let's take an example of a restaurant. Like we order something to the waiter. Then waiter acts as a medium to us and the chef who's preparing in the kitchen. So here, like controller will act as a waiter who will take the order from us and will provide it to the kitchen. Now the service will act as a chef who will make all the required who will gather all the required details and will make the documents ready. And if he needs anything from the database, then DAO will be responsible for getting it from the database and providing it to the service. And as mentioned in the photo, also like controller acts as an API layer, service acts as in business logic, and DAO acts as in persistent logic. Now, like I prefer going for the live demonstration for better explanation of the RESTful web services. Okay, so here's my Eclipse ID. Basically, I made a project using Spring Initializer and added all the dependencies like a Spring Web, MySQL driver, Spring Data JPA, etc. And I downloaded the project from Spring Initializer and opened it in my Eclipse ID. And then okay. Then now this is the our project pom.xml. This is the heart of our project. It contains all the dependencies which we added during the which we added in the Spring Initializers. Like we can see this Spring Boot starter web, MySQL connector, and this plugins also. Now we will for making it simpler, this is the main Java class which will run, and our web application will run. For this, we will make a controller, entity, service, entity, and a service package. Like controller controller is basically a REST controller. Here we will define all the methods and the mappings. Like I can show you. This is my my controller Java. This is my controller Java file. Here I have written all the mappings like home, courses, course ID, get mapping, post mapping, delete mapping. These all are REST controller. This is a REST controller basically I have defined here. And talking about the entity, this is the entity class. Here it contains all the required all the necessary information about the specific object. Like I have taken an object course which contains different variables like long as id, string, title, author. So here I have mentioned all the getters, setters, and constructors of the above mentioned variables. Like you can see the get title, set titles. These are all getters and setters. And coming to the course service.java, this is basically an interface which takes the command from the my controller Java and sends the command to course service implementation file. It acts as a medium between the my controller and the core service implementation file. This is the course implementation service file, which contains the data which I have put in my database. Like this is the list of the courses which are available, like Java, Python, C++, Spring Boot, and these are all the next these get courses, add courses, delete courses, and edit courses are all the functions which gets initiated when we call an API from the Postman. Like Postman sends the uh, action. Postman sends the data to my control. My control uh, sends the data to course service implementation.java file. Now let's go to Postman, and we'll get like first we'll run the project. Here you can see that like our project is running successfully. It is on the server. It is on the server 8080. Now going to the going to the Postman, and we will now try to use our APIs which we made. Like first we'll get courses. This is basically an API to fetch all the courses which exist in the database. Like if we send this call, then we can see all the available courses in the database. And if we want to add something, we can use a post API, and like we can add the details in the raw format using JSON format. And like we can ID as 6, we can write ID as 6, and like networking and like shift. And if we send this, then we can see that there is a product, there is a course which has been updated to a database. We can see all the data, all the courses in the database from the get API. Like there is a, now we can see there's an ID got 6 with the number 6, and title and the authors are Shiv, networking, and Shiv. Now we will basically edit the existing data in the database. Like for this, we have to send a parameter and as a ID of which we have to edit. Like for example, we have to edit the course with the ID 4, and we have to also mention all the details of the course which we are editing, like CS modules. And we can, after sending this data, we can see the method is not allowed. So this is an error basically for mm, ba- mm. Okay, so this might be an error. Like we can go for the delete API. For deleting any course from the database, we have to just send a parameter as like a course ID as a parameter to delete. Like if you want to delete the sixth course, you have to just write a 6 and send. We can see the course has been removed successfully. Now to check is the course deleted from the database, we can go to the get API and call it again, and we can see like there is now no course with the ID 6. And similarly, like after getting all these workings, we can after getting all these live demonstration, we can conclude with the observation like there are some important methods of HTTP, like get, it is to read a resource, put is to update an existing resource, post to create a new resource, delete to delete an existing resource. And as we saw the error, like while updating the while updating a existing resource, so there are some different errors which we can get in HTTP state codes. Like 404 is for resources not found, 201 is for created, 200 is for success, 401 is for unauthorized behaviors, and 500 is for any server error which we are facing during the during the fetching of APIs. And these are the references which I have taken during the during making the project and the presentations. You can go through the references, and that's all. Thank you. And for more information, you can contact me on my on the number on my email. Hello, sir.
Are you done?
Yes, sir.
See, the overall presentation was, I would say, it was good. Okay. So, with respect to someone who is not from your domain, okay, it was really informative. It was easy to understand for them, for the interns who are not from your domain. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Intern who did the same presentation before you, it was really informative for people who are in your domain.
Yes, sir.
So you both have different, I would say, audience. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Your audience was targeted more toward the overall interns who don't have much knowledge. They will
Yes,
get
like
a proper.
I had.
Yeah.
I had a
See,
base.
I could understand like you had some kind of mindset when you come here that you have to give a presentation that way. But I would say if you go through your meeting, you will understand that you need more practice towards the explanation phase. Okay.
Okay, sir.
In your explanation, it was not properly done. Okay. See, sometimes we try our best and we practice the explanation before coming here 1 time, 2 times, but it is not
Yes,
enough. Okay. So make sure you do the explanation part. Practice it. Okay. See, the thing is, it is really hard to do it in online. Okay. In
Yes, sir.
person, it becomes actually really easy because you can directly see the person. But in online, you just have your laptop. And sometimes
Yes,
you
sir.
can't even say anyone. Okay, it becomes
Yes, sir.
really hard, so you have to practice hard. Okay, I would say overall your presentation was good. Some improvements need to be done in the explanation part. Okay,
Okay,
your
sure.
code explanation was actually really messed up. It needs some work, but I would say for a beginner point of view, it was okay. I would say okay, not bad. But you got some error in your demo, I believe.
Yes, sir. Like basically my put API wasn't working. Like I had to check.
See,
Like
the thing is, you have to fix it. Okay, you
yes,
have
sir.
see the error is good. You included it. It shows that we can get some kind of error. What it means, but you need to do multiple demonstration for the same thing where you are actually showing how it is updating, and then where you are showing how you can get an error. Okay.
Okay, so like I just skipped that put API error. Like I don't want it to like waste the time while checking for the. Okay, I understood the
No, no,
point.
it is not waste of time. It is
Yes, sir.
actually your main project. So you
Okay, sir.
have to complete it. You don't you shouldn't get any kind of error. Okay. So try to fix that and update it in the technical chat that you have fixed it. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Just
Sure.
create a simple review and post it that you have fixed it. Okay, that
Okay,
will
sir.
be fine. Overall, your presentation was good. You will get your marks after this meeting.
Okay. 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 Thank you, sir.
So thank you for the presentation. I'll move on to next question. That is Nikit Singh.
Hello, sir. Is my screen visible?
Yes, your screen visible, but your camera is not visible.
Okay.
Yeah, now you are visible.
So, am I visible?
Yes, yes. Please start.
Okay. So, hello everyone. My name is Nikit Singh. My project name is DRDO Cryptography and Cryptanalysis Project, where we are gonna learn about scientific analysis group of DRDO. So here we will be seeing in this presentation, we will be seeing the what is DRDO, what are the projects of DRDO, and what is scientific analysis group, which is under the DRDO, and its visions, missions, and achievements. So let us start. So what is DRDO? So DRDO is a defense technology which is developed by the government of India in 1958 in order for Indian armed forces in order to develop some products or systems that can defend the India's security. So DRDO is one of the most diverse research organization of India, which actually like works in very different sectors like aeronautics, so yeah, materials and life sciences and etc. So like under DRDO there is a DCPP, which acronyms for a development cum production partner, which allows the hand holding of private sectors to the DRDO, so that DRDO can help them. So DRDO can help that private sectors to produce or develop the defense systems more properly, or improve the systems of those private sectors. So there are some examples like VLSRSAM and ATAGS. Uh, so next is projects of DRDO. As I said, DRDO works in various different sectors. So first of all, let us see about aeronautics. So there is a Sepicate Jaguar combat aircraft in which DRDO has helped to develop its various subsystems like its radar warning receiver, its brake parachutes, its cockpit and instrumentation and the displays. So next is unmanned aerial vehicles, where unmanned aerial vehicles may people they don't want to go and sit and just operate the system. It's like automatic, or it can be handled without a man sitting inside that vehicle or whatever. So there is this example, Nishan Tactical UAV, which is the first UAV of India, and it actually works on ground system as well as on the aerial systems. So next is Lakshya PTA, pilotless target aircraft, which actually used to target the systems of another or like you or it is used to defense our areas. Next is anti-drone warfare, that is D4S is an example of it. Armaments which are military people use it for for their personal securities, like body armor, clothing, small arms. Small arms means the small weapons or rifles and etc. So next is SAG. SAG is a scientific analysis group of DRDO, which actually works in the area of cryptology and information security. So first of all, what is cryptology? Cryptology is a concept which actually works in storing and securing the data in a secret form. Like when I say secret form, it means using cryptography. Cryptography consists of encoding and decoding of the data. Like they encode it in a code which no one can understand it, and they decode it when they have to use it. So next is scientific analysis group works on various mathematical and statistical analysis, and they develop tools and signal processing, high performance computing, and information security, and etc. A scientific analysis group of DRDO is located in Delhi, and its primary function is to evolve new scientific methods for designs and analysis of systems. So next is the visions and missions of scientific analysis group. So vision is their vision is to develop the finest cryptology and information security laboratory in the world for India. And next is their missions are developing tools based on mathematics, computer science, and electronics and communication for analysis of security and IT products, and also to develop domain system specific analytical algorithms and tools that can help India in order to defend its areas. Next is the achievements of a scientific analysis group of DRDO. So their achievements are developing software packages which are based on the mathematical techniques such as algebraic concepts, artificial intelligence, and ANN. ANN means artificial neural networks, where they can develop multiple artificial systems that can help in defense systems. Next is pattern recognition and clustering genetic algorithm. The another achievement are developing tools for speech recognitions, codings, and digital analog speech analysis, and also for malware analysis, like malware analysis, because to avoid the threats that are gonna happen in that tools, that developed tools. Next is designing and development of electronic hardware and PCs based cards for communication and framework for network security assessments. And then lastly, cyber security tools, developing cyber security tools such as SWIFT and FIT. So yeah, thank you everyone. Hello, sir. It's done.
Okay, so just to go over it, you didn't have a proper conclusion slide. Okay, I need to give a recap on that.
Sorry, sir. Can you repeat?
You didn't have proper conclusion slide, the ending slide. Okay, it was not perfect. And
Okay.
also you need to work on your overall presentation skills. Okay, your expression part. I believe somewhere in your slide there was some unmanned vehicle, right?
Yeah.
And you said something along the line that man not approach and whatever it is. You don't say it like that. Okay.
Yeah.
It doesn't look professional. It will okay. So you need to know your thing, whatever it is. Okay. Know the technical word, what is there for it. Don't just say whatever it is. It doesn't look good. It it makes it look like you didn't understand your topic. Okay. And this kind of things are really easy to catch for your viewers. The thing is that, see, some lightweight jokes are they are fine to make the environment work. Okay, but when you are explaining some topic on it is an important topic, don't have get to know your technical language what it is. Okay, it will make it look more professional. It will make it look, yeah, you know what you are talking about. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So you need to work on your like this expression skills. Other than that, I believe overall your presentation was good. Although the PPT can be it can be well formatted. It can, the formatting can be changed because it looks really messy right now. You could have just used simple 2 slides for the same topic. So like you can have aeronautics in this slide, unmanned vehicle entry drone in the other slide, and then armament in the other slide. So it will not look, like bloated, and it will look
Yes,
good
sir.
for your viewers. It will make it easy for them to read it. So try to have that. Other than that, I would say it was good. Your hook story was good. The way you presented was good. It was step by step, well explained. Other than that, some things like the reference slide and it, because see, this kind of information you must have got from some website or some sources, right? So you need to provide the reference. Okay. It is by default that you should provide reference. It may
Yes.
be as a at the end of the slide, at the very end, the end slide, you only have the end. You could have added a simple reference. See, someone before you had a QR code of the reference.
Yeah.
You can add a simple QR code. Okay, that will make it look, that will catch the people's eye. That yes, there is
More attractive.
yeah. So other than that, I would say overall your presentation was good. Just work on your presentation skills, and it is really easy to forget your words. So in PPT there is a notes option. You can always have your notes and read it from there. We will not see your notes, whatever it is, you can just read it. It will not make any difference. Okay.
Yeah.
Other than that, it is completely fine. Just practice before coming to presentation next time, and you will do like really well. Okay, because you have a certain way of explanation that is different from others. Okay, so if you practice it, you will become really good.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So I will now move on to next person. You can
Yeah.
stop your
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so Bhavna.
Yes, sir. Can
Yeah,
I share
please
my
start.
screen?
Yes, please start.
It is visible, sir.
Yes, it is. Please start.
Hello, everyone. I am Bhavna Jha. Currently, I am pursuing my MCA from Patna Women's College. I joined this organization on 2nd of January as a full stack web development intern. Today, I am here to present a presentation on the topic, what is data types, variables, and operators in JavaScript. Before we know what is data types, variables, and operators in JavaScript, let us know something about what is JavaScript. So JavaScript is nothing is a very popular scripting language. A scripting language means कि its user सॉरी सर ये यूज करता है हमारा स्क्रिप्ट टैग को जिसमें कि हम इसको एक्सप्लेन करते हैं जिसके अंदर स्क्रिप्ट टैग के अंदर हम जावास्क्रिप्ट के कोड को लिखते हैं इस वजह से इसको हम लोग स्क्रिप्टिंग लैंग्वेज भी कहते हैं इसके हेल्प से हम लोग बहुत अच्छा डायनेमिक यूजर इंटरफेस क्रिएट कर सकते हैं और इसको हम लोग क्लाइंट साइड स्क्रिप्टिंग लैंग्वेज इसलिए कहते हैं क्योंकि ये सिर्फ हमारे वेब ब्राउजर्स पे रन करते हैं इसके लिए हमें किसी सर्वर की जरूरत नहीं पड़ती है सो जब किसी जावास्क्रिप्ट के लैंग्वेज को हमको रन करना पड़ता है तो ये एक कंजक्शन के साथ आता है हमें HTML और CSS के साथ इसको रन करना पड़ता है HTML हमें क्या दिखाता है ना कि ये हमें बताता है कि कैसा हमारा वेब पेज दिखेगा उसका पूरा लेआउट और CSS उसमें उसके कंटेंट को बताता है और जावास्क्रिप्ट जो है उसमें फंक्शनैलिटी को ऐड करना उसका बिहेवियर को बताने में मदद करता है सो मैं मूव करती हूँ हमारे नेक्स्ट टॉपिक की ओर जो है वेरिएबल होता क्या है हमारे जावास्क्रिप्ट में सो वेरिएबल का मतलब होता है यहाँ पे कि वो सिंपल क्या करता है वो एक टेम्पोररी वैल्यू को स्टोर करके रखता है होल्ड करके रखता है वैल्यू को जैसे कि फॉर एग्जांपल हम जानते हैं कि अगर किसी वेब पेज पे किसी कहीं से मेरे को एक कोई डेटाबेस मतलब कि किसी वेब यूजर्स का उसका यूजर नेम और ईमेल आईडी को वेब पे डालना है दिखाना है डेटाबेस में तो हम कहाँ उसको स्टोर करेंगे टेम्पोररी तो यहाँ पे ना वेरिएबल का कॉन्सेप्ट को लेके आते हैं जो कि स्टोर करके रखता है हमारे वैल्यू को फॉर अ शॉर्ट टाइम सो वेरिएबल हम यहाँ पे क्या कर सकते हैं ना कि जावास्क्रिप्ट में डायनेमिकली यूज कर सकते हैं कभी भी कहीं भी यूज कर सकते हैं और जब भी हमें इसकी जरूरत हो इसमें कोई भी वैल्यू को एक बार डिक्लेयर कर दे और उसको हम कभी भी कहीं भी न्यू वैल्यू को असाइन कर सकते हैं सो इसके 4 तरीके हैं हमें वेरिएबल को डिक्लेयर करने के बाय यूजिंग वेर कीवर्ड के थ्रू हम इसको कर सकते हैं बाय यूजिंग लेट कीवर्ड बाय यूजिंग कॉन्स्ट और या नहीं तो किसी भी चीज को यूज करके नहीं कर सकते हैं सो हियर लेट्स सी अ कंपैरिजन बिटवीन द कीवर्ड वेर लेट एंड कॉन्स्ट so where keyword is used for function scope only means कि ये function के inside ही use किया जाता है और इसमें रीडिक्लेरेशन पॉसिबल नहीं होता सॉरी पॉसिबल होता है इसको हम रीडिक्लेयर भी कर सकते हैं इसमें हम अपडेट भी कर सकते हैं और जब भी हमें क्या कहता है कोई भी वेरिएबल को इनिशियलाइज करना पड़ता है विदाउट डिक्लेयर हम कर सकते हैं वही लेट और कॉन्स्ट के केस में क्या होता है ये दोनों मेरा ब्लॉक स्पेस होता है दोनों एक ही तरह का होता है वेयर बहुत पहले आया हुआ था जावास्क्रिप्ट में कीवर्ड बाद में बहुत टाइम के बाद आया है हमारा लेट और कॉन्स्ट ये किसी ब्लॉक स्कोप के अंदर ही हम इसको कॉल कर सकते हैं और लेट में क्या होता है ना कि ये रीडिक्लेयर तो हो सकता है बट ये इसमें अपडेशन पॉसिबल नहीं है बट इन केस ऑफ कॉन्स्ट एवरीथिंग इज फिक्स्ड आप ना ही इसमें डिक्लेयर कर सकते हो कुछ भी ना ही कुछ अपडेट कर सकते हो ना ही अगर आपने एक बार डिक्लेयर ना ही कुछ डिक्लेयर कर सकते हो ना ही इनिशियलाइज कर सकते हो सो मैं आपको एक इसके एग्जांपल्स दिखा रही हूँ कि जैसे यहाँ पे है एग्जांपल ऑफ वेयर। वेयर में क्या होता है ना, किसी भी वेरिएबल कीवर्ड को मतलब वेरिएबल को डिक्लेयर करने के लिए हम क्या यूज करते हैं, एक वेयर नाम का कीवर्ड, और उसके साथ ए जो यहाँ पे है, ये यहाँ पे जो ए है ये शो करता है हमारा वेरिएबल का नेम। ये कुछ भी हो सकता है, लेटर, डिजिट्स, किसी भी नाम से हम यहाँ पे इसको यूज कर सकते हैं। सो यहाँ पे मैंने यूज किया यहाँ पे ए, जिसमें कि ये 10 वैल्यू आया है। फिर मैंने इसको डिक्लेयर किया, मतलब कंसोल पे इसको दिखाया है इसके आउटपुट को। फिर मैंने एक फंक्शन के अंदर इसको डिक्लेयर किया है, जहां पे मैंने इसके वैल्यू को फिर से रीडिक्लेयर किया है। फिर यहाँ पे देखो अपडेशन भी हो रहा है। सो ये परफेक्टली मेरा रन करेगा कोड। और फिर ये लेट के केस में अपडेट तो कर देंगे हम वैल्यू, लेकिन जब हम रीडिक्लेयर करना चाहेंगे उस वैल्यू को, तो ये यहाँ पे हमको एरर, सॉरी सर, ये ये शो करेगा, हमारा एरर यहाँ पे शो करेगा। इन द कॉन्स्ट केस एवरीथिंग इज फिक्स्ड। यहाँ पे एक बार अगर हम 3 डिक्लेयर मतलब 3 डाल दिए हैं तो वैल्यू इज फिक्स्ड, कुछ भी चेंज नहीं होगा। अगर हम असाइन भी करना चाहेंगे तो नहीं होगा, अगर हम यहाँ पे अपडेट भी करना चाहेंगे तो नहीं होगा। सो दैट इज द ओवरऑल कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ वेरिएबल। सो मूव ऑन, व्हाट इज डेटा टाइप। हम अब जानते हैं कि वेरिएबल क्या करता है ना, कि हमारे डेटा को, वेरिएबल हमारे डेटा को होल्ड करके रखता है, किसी भी डेटा को। और डेटा टाइप क्या करता है ना, कि वो हमारे वेरिएबल को बताता है, उस पर ऑपरेट करता है कि किस तरह का। अब हमारे लिए जानना जरूरी है कि हमारा डेटा किस तरह का है। सो डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ वैल्यूज दैट कैन बी सेव्ड एंड चेंज्ड विद अ प्रोग्राम रेफर्ड एज data types. So knowing data type is essential because they have an impact on how operators operate as well as how variables are stored and handled. So हमारे पास 8 different types of data types हैं JavaScript में: number, string, boolean, big int, undefined, null, symbol, object. So here are some examples of how we declare these types of data types. So इंटीजर, किसी भी इंटीजर वैल्यूज को या फ्लोट वैल्यू को हमको अगर दिखाना हो तो हम ये नम यहाँ पे दिखा सकते हैं नंबर के अंदर। ऑब्जेक्ट में होता है क्या कि अगर आप किसी पर्टिकुलर एक स्ट्रिंग के कैरेक्टर को, उसके ऑब्जेक्ट्स को प्लस उसके प्रॉपर्टीज को शो करना हो आपको साथ में, तो आप यहाँ पे जैसे कि स्टूडेंट एक ले लिए हम वेरिएबल, और इसके अंदर हमने डिक्लेयर कर दिया नेम राज मल्होत्रा एज करके। तो यहाँ पे मेरा आउटपुट जो यहाँ पे स्टूडेंट नेम और स्टूडेंट एज में आएगा वो राज मल्होत्रा और 19 आएगा। बिग इंट का एग्जांपल लेते हैं। बिग इंट क्या करता है, इंटीजर का एक फिक्स जो है हमारा रेंज होता है, दैट इज 2 to the power 53 - 1। सो अगर इससे बाहर का कोई रेंज अगर मेरे को यूज करना है डेटा टाइप्स में, तो हम बिग इंट का यूज करते हैं। तो बिग इंट क्या करता है ना, कि कोई भी लंबे, जैसे कि फॉर एग्जांपल अगर हमें क्रिप्टोग्राफी हुआ या माइक्रो सेकेंड का प्रिसीशन हुआ, उसके लिए यूज करना पड़े, तो हम यहाँ पे यूज कर सकते हैं बिग इंट। और बिग इंट पहचानने का तरीका है कि अपेंड, एन के साथ अपेंड होकर के आता है। एंड तो ये मेरा बिग इंट का एग्जांपल है। फिर एग्जांपल ऑफ बूलियन क्या होता है ना, कि ये ट्रू और फॉल्स में हमारे वैल्यू को रिटर्न करके देता है हमारा। जैसे कि यहाँ पे 19 आया, यहाँ ये पता करेगा ये कि एज ग्रेटर देन इक्वल टू 18 है। अगर हाँ है तो ये हमको यहाँ पे ट्रू वैल्यू फॉल्स करके देगा, नहीं होगा तो ये यहाँ पे फॉल्स वैल्यू करके देगा। जैसे अनडिफाइंड है, कोई भी चीज हम वेरिएबल में कुछ भी डिफाइन नहीं किया, कुछ भी असाइन नहीं किया, सिर्फ क्या कि एक नाम लिए, लेट नेम कर दे, यहाँ पे कोई वैल्यू असाइन नहीं किए, तो ये हमारा आउटपुट जो है वो हमें अनडिफाइंड करके रिटर्न करेगा। नल के केस में क्या है कि एक नाम ले लिए, नल को डिफाइन कर दिए, तो वो नल हमें रिटर्न करेगा। इन केस ऑफ स्ट्रिंग क्या होगा, कि स्ट्रिंग क्या होता है, एक सेट ऑफ कैरेक्टर्स होता है, कैरेक्टर्स होता है। तो यहाँ पे हम एक कैरेक्टर्स को शो करने के लिए हम स्ट्रिंग का यूज करते हैं डेटा टाइप्स का। सो यहाँ पे हम एक स्टूडेंट लिए हैं, फिर यहाँ पे एक इसको डिफाइन करने का तरीका है हमारा कि हम ये डबल कोट के अंदर भी और सिंगल कोट के अंदर भी क्या कहता है, हमारा ये डेटा को हम डिक्लेयर कर सकते हैं, असाइन कर सकते हैं। सो ये मेरा पूरा स्ट्रिंग का हो गया। फिर यहाँ पे एक सिंबल एक न्यू आया है डेटा टाइप जावास्क्रिप्ट में, जिसके थ्रू कि हम एक यूनिक आइडेंटिफायर्स के थ्रू ऑब्जेक्ट्स के यूनिक आइडेंटिफायर्स को बताने के लिए ये यूज किया जाता है। और ये जो हमारा सिंबल है, सिंबल एक मेरा फंक्शंस होता है, फंक्शंस एज अ फंक्शन लाइब्रेरी यूज किया जाता है। जब भी अगर हमको सिंबल का यूज करना हो, यूनिक आइडेंटिफायर्स बताना हो, तो ये क्या करेगा ना यहाँ पे हमारा कि जो स्टूडेंट 1 है और स्टूडेंट 2 है, इन दोनों को कंपेयर करेगा, और अगर वो सही है तो वो हमको रिजल्ट फॉल्स मतलब कि ट्रू देगा, नहीं है तो वो फॉल्स रिजल्ट देगा। दैट इज ऑल ओवर about the data types. Now move on operators. What is operators? To manipulate values and variable in JavaScript, use the language operators. Means कि अगर हमें कोई addition करना है, subtraction means कोई भी mathematically operations perform करना है या logical operations perform करना है, comparison करवाना है किसी दो operator के बीच में, या कोई assignment करवाना है, तब हमारा concept आता है operator का। So operator सिर्फ operator रहने से हम उसको operate नहीं कर पाएंगे. We need an operand. Operand यहाँ पे एक एग्जाम्पल भी दिया हुआ है कि 1 + 2, here plus is an operator and 1 and 2 is an operand with argument where we use. So here in JavaScript we have different types of operators like arithmetic operators, assignment operators, comparison operators, logical, conditional type of operators. So मूव ऑन अर्थमेटिक ऑपरेटर्स। अर्थमेटिक ऑपरेटर्स क्या करता है ना, कोई भी हमारे जो ऑपरेटर ये न्यूमेरिकल वैल्यू पे काम करता है और रिटर्न भी हमको न्यूमेरिकल वैल्यू ही देता है। हमारे पास बहुत सारे अर्थमेटिक ऑपरेटर्स हैं, जैसे प्लस, माइनस, इनटू, डिवीजन, मॉड्यूल, प्लस प्लस ये इंक्रीमेंट कर देता है, एक से बढ़ा देता है, माइनस माइनस ये पावर है, इस एस्ट्रिक वाला यूज किया जाता है पावर को फाइंड करने के लिए। नेक्स्ट इज असाइनमेंट ऑपरेटर्स। अगर हमें कोई वैल्यूज को असाइन करना पड़ता है, मीन्स कि ये यूज किया जाता है वेरिएबल में वैल्यू को असाइन करने के लिए, ये असाइनमेंट ऑपरेटर। हमारे पास बहुत सारे असाइनमेंट ऑपरेटर्स है, जैसे कि इज इक्वल टू, प्लस इज इक्वल टू, माइनस इज इक्वल टू। These are different assignments operators are used in JavaScript. So move on. कंपेरिजन ऑपरेटर्स मींस जब हमें कोई दो ऑपरेटर के बीच में कंपेयर करना हो, तो हम यहाँ पे यूज करते हैं कंपैरिजन ऑपरेटर्स का। जैसे कि इक्वल टू है, मतलब कि a इज इक्वल टू b, कोई वैल्यू हमारा दो वेरिएबल का दिया हुआ है, उसके बीच में कंपेयर करना है, या देखना है कि कोई a b से बड़ा है, b c से छोटा है या उसके बराबर है, ये सारे कंपैरिजन करने होते हैं, तो कंपैरिजन ऑपरेटर्स का यूज किया जाता है। दीज आर द डिफरेंट कंपैरिजन ऑपरेटर्स इन जावास्क्रिप्ट। दीज आर इक्वल टू, स्ट्रिक्ट इक्वल टू, नॉट इक्वल टू, स्ट्रिक्ट नॉट इक्वल टू, greater than or equal to, less than, lesser than or equal to। हम मूव टू लॉजिकल ऑपरेटर्स। लॉजिकल ऑपरेटर्स का यूज किया जाता है हमारे जब हमें किसी लॉजिक को फाइंड करना होता है ऑपरेटर्स के बीच में, तब हम लॉजिकल ऑपरेटर्स का यूज करते हैं। जैसे कि एंड ऑपरेटर हुआ, नॉट ऑपरेटर, लॉजिकल एंड, लॉजिकल और, लॉजिकल नॉट। मैं इसका क्या कहता है एक एग्जाम्पल भी दिखाऊंगी जो मैंने रन किया है डेमो के थ्रू, तो वो बेटर समझ में आ जाएगा। सो मूव ऑन कंडीशनल ऑपरेटर्स। कंडीशनल ऑपरेटर्स में को हम लोग बेसिकली टर्नरी ऑपरेटर्स भी कहते हैं। ये तीन स्टेटमेंट्स के साथ आते हैं कंडीशन। फर्स्ट वन इज सिंपल एज लाइक इफ एल्स स्टेटमेंट। मीन्स कि अगर कंडीशन कोई गिवन है, अगर वो ट्रू है तो वो मेरा पहला स्टेटमेंट को रन करेगा, या नहीं तो फिर दूसरे स्टेटमेंट को रन करेगा। दैट इज सिंपल कंडीशनल ऑपरेटर्स। सो मूव ऑन टाइप ऑफ ऑपरेटर्स। टाइप ऑफ ऑपरेटर्स क्या बताता है ना कि हमारा किस तरह का, मतलब हम अगर कोई वेरिएबल, मतलब हम नहीं जानते कि वो किस तरह का हमारा डेटा टाइप है, हमारा कोई भी कुछ भी लिख दिए और हमको पता करना है कि वो किस तरह का डेटा टाइप है, तो हम यूज करते हैं टाइप ऑफ ऑपरेटर्स का। जैसे कि यहाँ पे एग्जांपल्स में मैं दी हुई हूँ, जैसे टाइप ऑफ जॉन, तो यहाँ पे जॉन, तो ये क्या रिटर्न कर रहा है कि एक स्ट्रिंग डेटा टाइप है। 3.4 ये क्या एक नंबर है। जैसे यहाँ पे फंक्शंस का है, तो ये क्या एक फंक्शंस है, ये बताता है कि हम किस तरह का ऑपरेटर्स यूज करते हैं। This is all over the concepts of operators, data types, and variable. In the last summary, I want to tell that it is important that कि जब हम जावास्क्रिप्ट पढ़े तो हमारे फंडामेंटल्स क्लियर होना चाहिए अबाउट द कि डेटा टाइप्स क्या होते हैं, जावा ये वेरिएबल्स क्या होते हैं, और हमारे ऑपरेटर्स क्या होते हैं। क्योंकि जब तक ये हमारे क्लियर नहीं होंगे, तब तक एक डेवलपर अच्छा इफिशिएंट और इफेक्टिव कोड को नहीं लिख सकता। सो ये हमारे लिए बेटर है जानने के लिए, और जब हम ये इसे अच्छे से जान लेंगे तो हमारे लिए इजी हो जाएगा एक अच्छा सा डायनेमिक वेब पेज को बनाने में। सो दिस इज ऑल, थैंक यू। This is my mail ID, and this is a GitHub link where I uploaded my project regarding data types, variables, and operators. मैंने एक प्रोजेक्ट किया है regarding this, where I show these things. Here मैंने बताया था आपको कि एक स्क्रिप्ट टैग के अंदर ही हम किसी
Sorry to
भी
interrupt. Your demo is not visible. I can only see the PPT.
one sec, sir. Now it's showing, sir.
Yeah, now it is visible.
So here is my code where I run declare these code of JavaScript, where I take a variable numeric value where I take a string value, declare यहाँ पे मैंने एक लेट नाम का वेरिएबल लिया, माई वेरिएबल, जहाँ पे कि मैंने 1 को न्यूमेरिक वैल्यू को लिया, फिर मैंने एक स्ट्रिंग वैल्यू को लेकर शो किया, फिर एक बूलियन वैल्यू को मैंने दिखाया है यहाँ पे, फिर यहाँ पे मैंने फिर एक बिग इंट के वैल्यू को दिखाया, फिर यहाँ पूरा मैंने एक ऑब्जेक्ट्स को शो किया है, फिर यहाँ एरे ऑब्जेक्ट्स को शो किया है, डेट ऑब्जेक्ट्स को शो किया है, और यहाँ पे मैंने कुछ अर्थमेटिक ऑपरेशंस भी परफॉर्म किए हैं, जैसे कि एक यहाँ मैंने 5 और 10 वैल्यू ले लिया है नम लेके यहाँ पे, और इसको मैंने कंसोल पे भी पहले दिखा दिया है, और फिर कंसोल लॉग में होता है ना कि अगर कभी कोई एरर आया जावास्क्रिप्ट में या कुछ शो करना हो, दिखाना हो, तो कंसोल हमें हेल्प करता है बताने में कि कहाँ पे एरर है अगर हमारे कोड में कुछ भी एरर होता है। सो ये कंसोल लॉग में भी मैंने दिखाया इस वैल्यू को, बाई चांस अगर मेरे कोड में कोई मिस्टेक हो जाए तो वो मैं वहां पे शो कर देगा। फिर ये मैंने डॉक्यूमेंट राइट करके, डॉक्यूमेंट यहाँ पे क्या होता है ना कि ये एक वेब पेज का एक वेरिएबल होता है, और ये राइट क्या करता है ना कि वो ये राइट के थ्रू हम डायरेक्ट हम वहां पे वेरिएबल को दिखा सकते हैं, मीन्स की स्क्रीन पे हमारा वेब पेज पे हमारा विजिबल होगा हमारा आउटपुट। सो यहाँ पे मैंने एक नम वेरिएबल लेकर के मैंने प्लस ऑपरेशन परफॉर्म किया, माइनस ऑपरेशन, जो भी अर्थमेटिक का मैंने अभी ऑपरेशंस दिखाए थे वो मैंने सारे यहाँ पे परफॉर्म किए, और फिर मैंने यहाँ पे कंपैरिजन ऑपरेशंस को भी परफॉर्म किया, कंपेयर करके भी बताया दो वैल्यू को, मान लिया कि A5 है, B10 है, C, ये करके मैंने पूरा यहाँ पे इसको दिखाया, फिर एक लॉजिकल ऑपरेशंस को भी परफॉर्म किया। सो अब मैं दिखाती हूँ आपको मेरा इसको रन करवा के। So here is my output where everything is declared or everything is displayed. So one, whatever the output is, number, ये one string, ये boolean value, ये int दिखा रहा है यहाँ पे ये पूरा हमारा एक ऑब्जेक्ट दिखा रहा है कि भावना इस इतना, फिर ये हमारा स्ट्रिंग में दिखा रहा है, ये एक डेट दिखा रहा है, नम जो मैंने ऑपरेशन परफॉर्म किया था यहाँ नम का दिखा रहा है सारा ऑपरेशंस जो मैंने परफॉर्म किया था, फिर ये जो कंपैरिजन है ये और शो कर रहा है, यहाँ ऑपरेटर जो लॉजिकल मैंने परफॉर्म किया था वो सारा शो कर रहा है। दैट्स ऑल, थैंक यू सर।
Are you done with your project?
यस सर।
So your overall project presentation, I would say it was okay. Okay, even though you did it in Hindi, that is completely fine. Okay, some people have their preference, but it will be good if you could do it in English. Okay, because we have, like, interns from multiple states from different languages. So we have people from north and south and west, so they don't clearly understand Hindi. So it would be really good if you could do it in English. But it is completely fine to do it in Hindi. Okay, it is your preference. But from next time onward, try to do it in English. Okay. So when I see your next presentation, I want it in English so that everyone collectively understand what you are saying. Okay.
Okay.
But your explanation needs some kind of improvements. There needs to be some improvement. So the thing is, when you are explaining a code, okay, see your PPT was really well made. Okay, so your PPT was really well made, but there are some examples. Okay, but the thing is, you had example, but you didn't have proper outputs. Okay, when you are posting an input or example in your PPT, there should be an output below that so that people understand if this is the input, then this is the output I'm getting. Although you are explaining the output, but it is not clear for your viewers because there is no output. So you had comments in your code, like, okay, so you could have added a comment saying output equal to this is the output. So it will make it really easy for them to understand. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Other than that, I would say overall it was good. You had a proper output and everything, but your demo expression also need to be worked on. Okay, your demo expression was not good. You said that this is the output for this, but don't say it like that. And if you are doing it, try to include the input with output so that we know, yes, this is the input and this is the output that we got. Okay.
Okay, sir.
In HTML, you can include the code itself. You can just show the code in the front page so that we know this is the code and this is the output. It will make it good. So you need to work on the demo and you need to work on the your English. Okay. Other
sir.
than that, overall your presentation was good. It was well made. The design was good. The typography was good. You used the same font in a consistently, which made it look good. Even though it was a lot of text, but it didn't look like there is a lot of text because the design was good. So I would say you have skills for the presentation making, but you need to work on your expression. Other than that, it was completely fine. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So now I'll move on to next question. That is Divyansh Kumar Mahawar.
Is my face visible?
Yeah, it is visible. Please share your screen.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Today I will be giving presentation on my third task, data types, variables, and operators in JavaScript. Let's start with the introduction. My name is Divyansh Kumar Mahawar, third year IT student from at Scientifc College of Engineering and Technology, Surat. I joined Veda on 16 February 2023 as a web developer intern. This is my email at the bottom. So today the topics we are covering is what is JavaScript, as it is a basic background knowledge which is required for our next topics: data types, primitive data types, non-primitive data types, variables, operators. Then we have conclusion. Then this is the sources where I on for references where I got the where I got the information to put in this PPT, and then we have Q&A session. So let's start with basic background knowledge. What is JavaScript? JavaScript is a dynamic programming language that's used for web development and in web applications, video games, everything. It helps in to make our website dynamic, because only using HTML, CSS, it will be a static website with a little bit of animation with that CSS provides. So HTML, let's understand HTML, CSS, and JavaScript in an analogy related to a human skeleton. You can think of HTML, which provides structure as our skeleton, and CSS as our skin. So it provides the looks, how it would like, and JavaScript provides the function, which can be organs of our body. So it is very easy to understand if you correlate these two things. And as you know, JavaScript is a dynamic type language that supports math calculation, but that dynamically add HTML contents to the DOM, which is document object model. which is a logical representation of a document in a tree format. This are the first topic, data types. A data type in programming is a classification that defines which type of value a variable can hold, and which type of operation can be implemented on it. There are two types of data types: primitive and non-primitive, which is derived from a primitive data type. Primitive data type. These are the sets of primitive data are the set of basic data type which all the data types are constructed from. The 7 data types: string, numbers, big int, boolean, undefined, symbol, and null. Let's start with the primitive data type, string. A string can be a sequence of characters which presents a text. As you can see, we have a string hello world in X. So string can be defined with under two closed quotes or single quotes. But we usually prefer double quotes at this multi-line, and it is a command console log which shows our output, and type of is a function which shows this type of data type is your variable. So as you can see, X is a string, and there's a number. And numbers in the JavaScript are stored as a decimal number, which is in programming language known as floating point. As you can see, our x1 is a decimal 34.00, and our type of is source as a number. Negatives are being int, and there's a limit at how much a normal date or how much a normal number amount can store. So it is a very big amount. So a normal data type cannot process it easily and store it. That's why we use a new data type that is known as being int. So I can see there's a large amount. Because if you see, it shows a big int. And booleans are normally use a true and false values, which is generally used in some conditions, or can be true is also known as 1, false is also known as 0. As you can see, both X is true and Y is false. So both types are Boolean. They say undefined data type. It is a type of variable which value is not defined yet. You can define it later, but for the time being, it is undefined. So you can say it is a string or a number, anything. It is nothing, undefined. And the symbols. Symbols is type of a new data type which was introduced in 2015, and it is immutable and unique. So if you have suppose a key, so you can use as a symbol, so it can be unique and immutable. And null value represents a references that the points generally intensely to a non-existent or invalid object or address. In null does not if there's a null, it doesn't mean that variable holds a 0 or nothing. It is just null. It is present, but no value is it, and does not and is not either undefined. As you can see, it's is on a type of null as an object. Now they have a new then we can have a non-primitive data type. These data types are derived from primitive data types in JavaScript, not in JavaScript and any programming language. Now, there are two types of primitive data type, object and array. There's also a third type known as function, but it is wrong to include it as a data type because this is a method that we can define and gives our other outputs. So object. An object is an entity in not only JavaScript and any programming language that has properties and methods. As you can see, we have a person object which has which are the properties. First property, first name, this is John, last name Doyle, age 50, and you can see this is a key value pair, just a key, first name, and a value John, similarly last name Doyle and others. As you can see, it's a type of, it's also object. An array. An array is a collection of items of a same data type stored in a continuous memory locations. So we can suppose we want to store multiple items, but they belong to a same category. So you can store them in a array. So you can iterate to it later. As you can see, it is source true. Now you might be wondering why I used array, this array function, not the type of function. That's because if you use a type of function, so it will show the array as an object too. Because in JavaScript, the JavaScript only shows object in a non-primitive data type, but actually it is an array. So that's why we have to use the array function is array. Now variables are contained we hold something in something data or a value. As you can see, variable x is x equals to 5, let y equals to high, and constant z equals to y. As you can see, we have three ways to define a variable: var keyword, let keyword, and const keyword. Var keyword is used till 2015, but after a new version, it is recommended to use the let or constant keyword. Now, operators are symbols which are used to operate on operands. So as you can see, we have a var, which is a variable. It defines as sum, and it has a 10 plus 20. But 10 is our 10 is our operators and operands, and this is our operator. Plus is our operator. Now there are six types of operators in JavaScript: arithmetic, comparison, bitwise, logical, assignment, and special operators. Arithmetic operators are used to perform arithmetic operation on the operands. The following are some examples, like plus for addition, 10 plus 20, 30, minus is subtraction, 20 minus 10 goes to 10. Star, which is known as a multiplication in computer languages, it's 10 into 20, 200. The division, which / division, this is 20 by 10 is 2. Now have a percentage size we miss a modulus, which gives a remainder. So if we divide at 20 by 10, we get the remainder is 0. The increment. So if we have a as a 10, I figure and you're going to increment it, so equals to plus 1. That will be 11. Similarly, we have a decrement. So it will be if we decrement at 10, it will be so 9. Now comparison operators. The comparison operator compares two operands. So as you can see, double equal to check is 20 equals to 20, 10 equals to 20. No, there is a false. And then is the identical operator. So it is checked whether it is equal as well as the same data type. As you can see, both are numbers for the same data type, but values are not equal. So it is false. That is there is a not equal. You can see 10 is not equal to 20, true. And that is not identical. So it's like it is not same. So it is 20 is not equal to 20 is a false. Then it gets a greater than symbol. Is 20 greater than 10, true. Greater than or equal to, then it is 20 is greater than equal to 10, true. Then it's we have a less than, 2 is less than 10, this is false. Less than or equal to, and it is 20 is less than equal to 10, false. Now bitwise operators perform bitwise operation on operands. By bitwise we mean that we first convert our numbers into our bits, like a 1 zeros. So if you do the operation as an AND, so bitwise AND operation, is 10 is equal to 20 and 20 equals to 33. As you can see, if you convert it into a bits, then do an operation on it. So 20 is false, and it is also false. So it is generally so false in bitwise OR operator. You can see the straight line. So it is or if any of the one condition is true, it will show true. It will show true. Otherwise, false for all conditions. Then as a XOR, which is it gives the opposite of the OR. As you can see, it is false. bitwise NOR operator, this converts in opposite manner. So if it's true equals to false, false or true. You can see it's converted into opposite. And left set is a shift the one bit to the left. So you can see it's 14. If you right shift and you have the 2, a left shift with a 0. So you can see it is also 2. Now, logical operators are the symbol or word to connect two or more expressions and get the value of the compound expression produced. Depends not only on logical operator but on the meaning of the operator. As a logic operator AND basically is and 10 equals to 20 and 20 equals to 30. This is false. As you can see, this one's false and this is also false. The total is false. Logical operator is check if any of the one is the true. As you can see, both and false, so answer is false. Logical operator says whatever your answer is true or false, you give the opposite of it. So you see, this is the false, but if you use the NOT operator on it, it will give it true. The assignment operator. These operators are used to assign a value and as well as perform some operations too. You can see we have a equal as a assign operator. If you 10 plus 10 equals to 20, see is assigns the 20 value and I don't assign. Suppose you have a 10 a equals to 10, then for you a plus 10 equals 20. You can see it takes the previous value of a, which is 10, and then add 20 on it. So it is 30 now. Similarly, we have a subtract and assign. So if you can take a equals to 20, a minus equals 10, then you have a equals to 10. Multiply assign. Similarly, if it's going to be the previous value, multiply it with the new 20 value and assign it. So it will be 200. Same divide it. So you have a 5 m modulus. So it will have a 0 modulus. Now, these type of operators are known as special operators. Every have special functions. There's a conditional operators which returns value based on the condition, similar to if else. Comma operator that allows you to have a multiple expression to be evaluated in a single statement. Delete operator deletes the property from object. In operator checks the object is if that's a given property. Instance of check the first check if the object is an instance of given type. Creates an instance new creates an instance object. Type of check the type of object which we have show it in previous slides. Void describe the operators is describe the expression returns value. Yield check the what is returned in a generator by generator's iterator. Conclusion, we have learned about various data types, what is variable, and about operators. All of these are basic building blocks which are used not in JavaScript and other programs. Only by using basic, we can rush into more complex solution. As you know, everything is original from the basic. So it will help us to know about this, and we can perform various things. And level literal, we will advance into more complex solutions. So it is over. Any questions or answers? Session?
Yeah. So, are you taking Q&A?
Hello.
Hello. Can you hear my voice?
Actually, your volume voice is little bit low.
Okay. Try like it is max. I believe there is some problem with your speaker. Okay. So, are you done with your presentation?
Yes, I am done. There's this is sources main at the end, and then it is done.
Okay. I believe there are no question answer. So I would say your overall presentation was good. Is there any demo?
Sorry.
Is there any demo?
There's a I can show you demo. It is similar to this one deck.
Okay, so you have included it in the PPT. Okay, that is
yeah,
fine.
it is
Okay.
included in
So
PPT.
overall, your presentation was good, I would say. Okay, you had proper input and output shown on the screen, which made it really easy to understand. You went step by step, I would say. Okay, so this is one of the best, I would say, presentation I have seen with respect to this task. Okay, so I would say you went step by step. You had references and Q&A and everything. Okay, good. Overall, I would say it was good. Okay, so you can stop your screen. So I believe it is already 8:58, so we are already done on time for today. So I will take all the remaining presentation tomorrow. You guys can join tomorrow at 7 p.m. and raise your hand first if you would like to give a presentation first, because we go in order of raised hands. Okay. So if there is any general queries now, you can message it in the chat box. If it is like relevant, I will answer them, because we have 2 minutes. After that, we can stop the meeting for today. I can see one message that is from Abhijit Rahane, that you would like to get your daily report and internship. See, I overlook the presentations and the progress updates, so I'm not able to help you with that. You have to contact the management team. So if you go on hackweather.in website, go on hackweather.in. At the very end, just before the footer, there is contact information. You can contact the management team through that information, and they will let you know if it is possible to provide the whatever you are asking for. Okay. So go through it. There is a contact information. You can message it on that, or you can email on that. If or you can also go through the technical support chat. There is technical support chat, but you have to choose the general queries. In the subject area, there is option to select which department. So select general queries online. Okay. Then someone from the general queries department will let you know. And if you still don't get the answer, then you can directly message or call the number or email provided there. Okay, they are working numbers. You can get your query fixed there. That is for the management team only. Is there any other general queries left? Virendra Pratap, you said you want my contact and email. You can use all the contact and email that is provided in that website. Okay, you can directly contact them for any management related queries. So is there any other left for the general queries? Then we can conclude this meeting. So just raise your hand for the presentation. I will take the name. People who are taking the name will. Okay, Raji, because we are out of time, we can't have a presentation. You can have a presentation tomorrow. So just raise your hand. I will take the name. People who are taking the name, they will not give any negative evaluation for the presentation because we are out of time, so we can't have a presentation. So just raise the hand. I will just cross over. So Gaurav Kumar, Anikesh Ahirwar, and Kaustuv, Bharti Khatre, and Abhijit Rahane. They are the names that I have taken. They will not receive any kind of negative evaluation. And Raji Ahmed Hashim, you have pointed in the chat. So you will not receive any kind of negative evaluation. We can have your presentation tomorrow. So join at 7 p.m. Raise your hand. We will have a presentation in order of raised hand. So thank you for joining today. So all the people, thank you for your great presentation. And this is same 7 p.m. We have meetings at 7 p.m. every day. Okay, 7 to 9. And this is the same link that you guys can use to join. So goodbye everyone. And if you have any kind of general queries that was unanswered, you can always go on the technical support chat, select the general queries and get it. I'm not in the cloud computing group costume. You can use the technical support chat, or you can directly contact the information provided there. Okay. Go through the technical support channel. We have stopped using trainer, and by the 24 it will be obsolete. We will completely stop using it. So try to always have your whatever you have queries, go to the technical support channel. Okay, bye everyone.